Greek gods versus Norse gods. That's the debate we got today, and it could take us all sorts of different ways, like this Odin versus this Zeus, or this Zeus, or this Zeus, or this Thor versus this Hercules, or this Hercules versus this Thor. It could take us all sorts of ways, but we're gonna land on God of War. And who's got the more powerful gods over there? Kratos was able to fight against all of them, but what did they have to fight each other? Well, that's what we're gonna find out, so let's get into it. What's up, guys? I'm Daniel, and this is DanCo. We do fight breakdowns every week, plus the occasional power ranking video like this one, or things like that. So if that seems interesting to you, we'll sit back and enjoy the video. Hit that like button. If you want to, go hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Now let's get to it. Now starting out, if you take a closer look at both of these pantheons, you'll begin to see that they're not really holy or divine or set apart. They're kind of trashy, they're kind of dysfunctional, they're kind of messy, they're very much so human. They're petty and they squabble and they're insecure and they have their family problems and they definitely do not have their shit together. And seeing that, well, that kind of makes you feel better about yourself as you go to Taco Bell at midnight for the 4th night in a row for your double steak spicy grilled cheese burrito and you have the runs on the toilet for the next 30 minutes. Because if the gods don't have their lives figured out, then how can I be expected to? What hope do I have? They're just like me, only they can do some truly incredible things. And I'm talking like some universe-shattering stuff. Like Hades is straight up able to rip your soul out of your body. That's like his signature go-to attack, just tearing your soul out. Or Baldur, he is straight up invincible. He's immortal, he can't be killed, he cannot feel pain. He actually can't feel anything. No pain, no feelings, no emotions. It actually comes back to bite him in the butt. It's more of a curse than a blessing, but this was created by just a simple spell. That's some serious magic there. Or what about speed feats? Like when Kratos was able to fight against the two fates, they were fighting at infinite speed. Or about when Helios launched out a light beam blast, able to move at infinite speed. And we know that because he was able to light up the underworld in an instant. And in God of War 3, it is confirmed that the underworld is an infinite realm, ever expanding with its own sea of stars. And Helios was able to light it up like that. So truly some crazy speed. And they're just as fast over the Norse realm too. Don't get me wrong. Like the Valkyries flying across the world tree and from realm to realm. That is some truly insane speed because the realms between realms are infinite. The world tree is so big that it extends beyond our concepts of space and time. And they're just flying around in it and getting from point A to point B. Even this damn squirrel is fast enough to race up and down the tree. So yeah, Norse people are fast. They're also plenty strong. I mean, just look at Thor. A bit different than this Thor. Doesn't have those classic Chris Hemsworth good looks. They've been hitting the bar maybe a bit too much, but God, is he powerful. I mean, just look at his fight against Jormungandr. Thor is strong enough to straight up send this snake back in time with a punch. Which I don't even honestly know how that's possible. I just don't. That doesn't make any sense to me. Probably doesn't make any sense to Kratos or any sense to Thor. I don't know how they did it, but he did it. And they fractured and shook the world tree while they were at it. So that's like an infinite level attack. But then meanwhile, Zeus is creating a sword that's basically like the Infinity Gauntlet on his hand. It can strike down all the gods and all the titans all around him in an instant without even blinking an eye. So it doesn't matter which pantheon you're in, really, I guess, because each of them, all of them, are able to do some truly insane things. So we can't really figure out who is more powerful just based on arbitrary individual feats. That's not going to work here. No, this is a god fight. This is a godly, holy, set-apart, divine fight. So we need something a bit more definitive here. And there are basically 3 ways that we can look at this here. First off, well, we know that there's some things that the Olympians can do that are even surprising to the Norse gods. They don't even necessarily believe it to be true. Like Surtur was surprised by the Blades of Chaos, calling them primordial in power, saying that they contained the spark of the world or something like that, some mumbo jumbo, and actually using them to essentially help kickstart Ragnarok. This isn't even the most powerful weapon in the Greek mythos. Mimir asked Kratos about his gods one time, saying that he had heard rumors about these gods with every power, every flavor of power imaginable, or something like that. Just truly bewildered that gods could be that powerful, and that there could be gods more powerful than the Aesir and the Vanir. That they might have powers that the Aesir and the Vanir don't have. And then when Kratos tells Freya and Mimir about his encounters with the Greek fates, about how they're able to use time manipulation, these guys are legit shocked. They can't even believe that anybody would have that much power. The Norse counterpart for the fates, the Norns, they don't have that level of power. They don't have time manipulation. Basically, all they can do is see possible outcomes for the future. So when Kratos is saying that he was legit sent back in time, yeah, of course they're shocked. They said that there isn't a power like that in any of the 9 realms. They didn't believe that it existed. But while that's definitely a point in the Olympians' favor, I don't think that alone, saying that they have powers that the Norse don't have, is definitive here. Because one, there might be things the Norse gods can do that the Greeks don't know about, that the Greeks can't do. We don't know. And two, just because the Greek gods can do a more variety of things, it doesn't mean that they're inherently more powerful. Like, sure, you could have every single power in the book, every power imaginable, and Thor can still smash your head in with Mjolnir. Like, that's a legit, real thing. But of course, another advantage for the Olympians here is just size. Like, if this is a numbers game, the Olympians win in a landslide. They have a huge advantage here, and they can just simply overwhelm the Norse gods. And two, all the Olympians are gods. All of them. And you can't say the same for the other side. Heimdall actually made fun of Atreus for thinking that all the Aesirs are gods. So numbers are in the Greeks' advantage, but I actually think the biggest thing here, the thing that seals the deal, is Kratos. Because while some developers have different thoughts on this, I'm beginning to believe that Kratos was a whole heck of a lot more powerful in Greece than he is now in Midgard. And if that's the case, then I think that paints everything in a different light. And like I said, some of the game directors, some of the game developers, they don't agree. They think that Kratos is more powerful now than he's ever been before. But I'm going to try and lay out my case for why that is not true. Why Kratos is more powerful in God of War in Greece than he is now. So when battling his way through Greece and working his way up to Mount Olympus, Kratos was absolutely put through the ringer. Like, he was put through it. The Olympians controlled the skies, they controlled the underworld, and they controlled everything in between. They were united, they were powerful, and they threw everything they had at Kratos. And so Kratos had to use every weapon at his disposal. Every magic spell that he could get his hands on, every trick up his sleeve, he had to do everything to try and overthrow Zeus. Didn't work, he still died. He actually killed 3 separate times. And this is Kratos while he was younger, while he was full powered, while he was most skilled, while he had every weapon, all his magic, everything at his disposal, while he was blinded with rage, while he was full bent on destroying the gods. He was still killed. Compare that to Kratos' adventures in Midgard with the Aesir. For starters, well, we gotta take into account that magic is bound to the earth and to specific lands. So when Kratos' homeland was destroyed, well, he lost a lot of his power. He said as much to Mimir. Said he used to have a lot of power like all the Greek gods, but when Mimir asked him if he could recall it or use it, Kratos said he had tried, but he couldn't remember. When Kratos' homeland was destroyed, he lost a lot of his power. But now Kratos is a foreign god in a foreign land, and he's going up against the Norse gods on their home turf, where they should have the advantage, where they should be at their strongest. Let's be honest here, he beat them without much problem. And that's still when Kratos is holding back and didn't really want the fight. He didn't have any beef with the Aesir, he didn't want to fight them, he didn't have anything against them. And so for the most part, he was actually able to keep his cool, he was non-violent, he tried to calm down situations. It's only actually when Atreus was threatened that he let loose. Seriously, Kratos is trying to avoid almost every single fight that he finds himself in. Like, look at Baldur. From the beginning, Kratos didn't want to fight him. It was only whenever Baldur mentioned Atreus that he let loose a little bit more. And the only reason he killed Baldur was because Baldur was threatening Freya, somebody that Kratos treated as a friend. Same with Thor. In their first fight, Kratos is just trying to defuse the situation, trying to reason with him, talk about how they were just trying to defend themselves, that Baldur and Magni and Modi attacked them first. But it's only when Thor mentions that Odin has a plan for Atreus that Kratos lets loose. Then in the second fight, well, Kratos is trying again to get through to him. It's only when it doesn't work that Kratos smacks him around a little bit, then tries to talk some sense into him again. Basically, he's holding back. Kratos does not want these fights. And we know that because we can look at Heimdall. Heimdall is hyped up as this all-powerful god, and he is absolutely brutalized by Kratos. Not even close, not even fair. And it's only because there's a prophecy out there that Heimdall is going to kill Atreus. That's why Kratos does him in and does him dirty. What happened to Heimdall would happen to all the other Aesir gods if Kratos was actually trying. The Olympians managed to kill Kratos 3 different times. Meanwhile, forget about dying, Kratos didn't even lose a fight in Midgard. The Norse gods were not able to beat him a single time. I mean Thor, but Kratos again was not trying. And this is Kratos while he was holding back, he was still rusty as hell, he was still weaker, he was still slower, he was the visiting team while the Norse gods had the home field advantage, and Kratos still smoked all of them. Sure, there are some individually powerful Norse gods. Thor, Baldur, that giant freaking snake. But on the whole, the Greek Pantheon was way more powerful. They had the numbers advantage, they had powers the Norse gods never even heard of, and most importantly, they were able to fight against and defeat a much more powerful version of Kratos. The Greek gods win here. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.